Right, this is, I'm going to show you kind of what I did for the installation of the Supertop with no rails, and also kind of my first thoughts with it for the first 2 days. First things first is, how do you install it without the rails? I use my truck like a truck. Here's what I did for the clamps. So you've got the deep ones go on the bottom for this back part towards the tailgate, and then you've got a shallower set that go up there towards the front of the cab. There we go, sorry. And then I thought I was supposed to have rails because my set came with the slider inserts, but if yours come with the slider inserts and no rails, they're just kind of a waste, so you don't actually need them. Inside, it's actually pretty nice, pretty roomy. It feels roomy, I guess is what I should say. The only thing I'm really not happy with is the instructions tell you to put the clamps 12 inches away from the bed. Don't do that. Put it as far tucked in towards the corner as you can. If you do that, I don't know if you can see, there is a beautiful gap, and that's because the wind took the front end of it and bent the rail up. So don't follow the directions and do it 12 inches away from the wall. Do it as close as you can. The other thing is different gaps in the seams that I'm not too happy with, but they don't seem to be leaking. These corners, see if we can get there, they just have some weather stripping tubing on there, and it seems to work, so I will give it that. Then it doesn't leak, but the way that it's set up, the water does pool onto the top of this here, so when you open up the tailgate, the water will slip back down to the bed of the truck. Sorry, I got my baby. The water will slide into the truck, but it actually doesn't leak. There is some gapping in the corners here, if I can get that to focus. So, and it's that way on both sides, that there is that gap. Also, this one's a little bit bigger just because it did get pulled up from the wind. So one thing I would recommend is just buying some aftermarket camper top clamps. The other thing is, when you go through here, there is only a zipper on one side, not both sides. So you actually can't unzip anything from the inside. That doesn't pass, but if you're trying to do anything in your camper, or you want to camp in your camper, you can't shut the camper securely, because you can't zip it shut. You'll have to have like a space for your hand open, or you'll have to leave the plastic tabs undone. Plastic tabs, holy horrible. Not horrible in the sense of it's actually really easy and effective, but horrible in the sense that what most of the review videos don't show you is that to lower and raise your camper, you have to completely unpin every single plastic lip. And if you've ever done anything with the plastic lips before, they can be a royal pain in the butt to get put back on. And this is definitely the case. So when you do your installation, do your corners first. So throw over the canvas, put your corners in first, zip in the side panels, and then kind of fit everything from there. But that's a complaint, is to undo anything. Don't cut this off because it's the only way to get your top to come undone. So this is that plastic lipping that I'm talking about. So if you want to take off your cab, you have to take out all the plastic lipping for it to be able to go and fold back. Then you want to put it back, put all the plastic lipping back in place. It's like a big deal, but if you're trying to use it for camping, or if you plan on using it a lot, it can be pretty frustrating, pretty annoying. So I would say flexibility is nice, but if you need quick, regular access to your cab, I would say it's better to just get a hardtop camper shell and not this. If you have time and you like the flexibility of not knowing whether or not you need one, this is good, just make sure you've got time to take care of it. The only other complaint I have is the rail bar. So the rail bar here that it connects to, I mean, if you undo, say you're undoing your window, right? You're gonna have this rail bar here in the way. And it's not hard to take off if you want to remove it, but you do have to undo the corners, undo the tabs on the corners, which is a pain in the butt, plus undo the bottom of this, which is a pain in the butt. Then you can take your bar out, but then you have to reinstall it if you want to do anything, or just keep this rolled up. It does seem to be fairly waterproof. I only had a little bit of water. Like I said, that was from it pooling on the tailgate top. But actually, surprisingly, it did rain and it didn't really have any water. There's no wind buffeting. It's not very loud. It does take off gas mileage, about 3 miles per gallon. So just for having the topper. But that's pretty much it. I would make some design changes if you really wanted to have something where you could easily flip it on. I would say see if there's a way that you can get this either Velcro. I don't know that I'd recommend Velcro because it's not a good lifespan, but either instead of doing the plastic lip, do Velcro or do eyelets. And instead of this rail, if you did something kind of like a bar with hooks that you could just pull down and seat, make it extremely quick and easy and effective. So those would be upgrades I'm probably going to do to it later.